Hush now, little one, settle down into your cozy bed and let the world outside just fade away. The day is done and the moon has pulled its soft, silver blanket over the sleeping hills. Here in the quietest part of the night our story begins. There is a place, tucked away between a sleepy stream and a forest of whispering ferns, called the Moonpetal Garden. It is a very secret garden, for it only ever wakes when the sun is fast asleep. During the day it is just a quiet meadow of closed buds, but when the first star twinkles in the deep velvet sky, the garden awakens with a soft sigh. One by one, giant, luminous flowers unfold their petals, painting the darkness with colors you've only seen in dreams: soft lavender, twilight blue, and the gentle peach of a new dawn. In a warm little burrow at the edge of this garden lived a small bunny named Pip. Pip had fur as soft as dandelion fluff and ears that drooped just a little at the tips when she was feeling sleepy. Tonight, though her ears were perked with curiosity, the air in the Moonpetal Garden felt different. It hummed with a magic that was even quieter and more peaceful than usual. Peeking out from her burrow, Pip watched the familiar lights of the fireflies as they danced among the glowing flowers. They blinked and zipped, creating tiny, cheerful sparks in the night. But then she saw it, a new light. It was not a quick, happy flash, but a slow, gentle pulse. It glowed with a warm, peachy gold light like a tiny, captured sunset, and it moved not with a zip but with a slow, graceful drift, as if floating on an invisible river. Pip's little nose twitched. She had never seen a firefly like this one. With a soft hop she left the safety of her burrow and followed the gentle light. The firefly, whose name was Flicker, was very small and very sleepy. He wasn't dancing or playing. He was on a very quiet, very important journey. Flicker floated through the air, his light leaving a faint, shimmering trail behind him. He drifted past the tall, glowing bluebells that chimed with a silent music only the moon could hear. He circled the sleepy-headed poppies whose petals were curled up like cozy fists. Pip followed, her soft paws making no sound on the mossy ground. She felt safe inside the little bubble of warm light that surrounded Flicker. Finally, Flicker drifted down and landed on the edge of a magnificent flower known as a star-whisper bloom. Its petals were almost see-through, a pale, silvery blue, and they shimmered as if woven from moonlight itself. The moment Flicker's tiny feet touched the petal, a wonderful thing happened. His soft, peachy glow spread through the petal, not like a light but like honey dissolving in warm tea. The entire petal began to shimmer, and from its surface a pattern of liquid starlight swirled, creating beautiful, silent shapes in the air. Pip watched, her big, dark eyes wide with wonder. She saw the starlight form the shape of a sleeping cloud whale, slowly swimming through the air before fading into glitter. She saw a tiny constellation of a bear, yawning a silent, starry yawn. She did not hear a sound with her ears, but she felt a gentle story in her heart. It was a whisper, not of words, but of feeling. It felt like peace. It felt like a star's oldest, quietest dream. Flicker rested for a moment, his light pulsing softly, and then he took to the air again, drifting to another star-whisper bloom. Pip followed, her heart full of a calm curiosity she had never known. She was not just in a garden. She was walking through a library of dreams. Flicker was the gentle keeper, and his light was the key that unlocked the silent stories held within each petal. He landed on a lavender-colored bloom, and this time the whisper dream that emerged was one of gentle rain. Pip felt the cool, soft feeling of a summer shower on her fur, and she could almost smell the sweet scent of damp earth and night-blooming jasmine, all without a single drop of water falling. She learned in that moment that stars dream of watering the universe, of bringing life to far-off worlds with their tears of light. They continued their slow journey, a tiny bunny and a sleepy firefly, wandering deeper into the heart of the garden. They passed by the dewdrop pools where fallen starlight collected like liquid silver. Pip looked into one and saw not her own reflection but the smiling face of the moon, looking down at her with gentle, sleepy eyes. Flicker's light danced on the water's surface, sending soft ripples of peach and gold across the moon's reflection. Flicker showed Pip so many wonders. He showed her the memory moss, a soft, glowing carpet of green that, when touched by his light, would show faint, moving shadows of all the little creatures who had ever found peace in the garden. Pip saw the shadows of field mice, of sleepy owlets, and even a gentle fawn, all resting in perfect stillness. The garden remembered every sleepy soul who had ever sheltered there. As they moved, the air grew softer, thicker, as if they were walking through a gentle cloud. The humming sound grew a little deeper, a peaceful, resonant lullaby that seemed to come from the earth itself. They were nearing the center of the garden, the most magical place of all. There, in a small, circular clearing, grew the heart of the garden, the great moon lily. It was a single, enormous flower, larger than any other, with petals of the purest, softest white. They were not glowing yet, they were waiting. The air around it was still and sacred. This was where the oldest, deepest stardream was kept. Flicker, gathering all of his sleepy energy, flew in a slow, graceful spiral up to the very top of the lily. He hovered for a moment over its center, his light growing a little brighter, a little warmer. Then he slowly drifted down and landed right in the heart of the magnificent flower, and the garden held its breath. A wave of the most beautiful light Pip had ever seen flowed out from the moon lily. It was not bright or sharp, but soft and milky, like the light of 1,000 fireflies all glowing in perfect harmony. Every petal of the great moon lily unfurled completely, and the star whisper it released was not just one dream, but all of them at once. It was the feeling of floating in the endless, quiet dark of space, held safely in a blanket of nebulae. It was the feeling of being timeless, of being small and yet connected to everything. It was the dream of universal peace. Pip sat at the base of the lily, her little body trembling with a gentle, happy calm. She felt her eyelids growing heavy. The wonder of the garden was so big, so peaceful, that it was rocking her to sleep. The air was filled with the soft, drifting pollen from the lily, which sparkled like kind dust in the moonlight. Each speck carried a tiny fragment of the great stardream. Pip watched flicker, now nestled in the center of the giant flower. His light was beginning to dim, pulsing slower and slower and slower. He had shared the garden's secrets with her, and now his work was done. It was time for him, too, to rest. He found a soft, velvety spot deep within the lily's heart and let his little light fade to a barely there ember. The whole garden seemed to sigh in contentment. The glowing petals of the other flowers began to dim, their colors softening as they prepared to curl back up in sleep until the next night. The gentle humming faded into a deep, peaceful silence, broken only by the whisper of a soft breeze through the ferns. Pip felt an overwhelming sense of sleepiness wash over her, as gentle and as total as the tide. She didn't even have the energy to hop back to her burrow. Instead, she found a patch of the glowing memory moss at the base of the great moon lily. It was warm and soft, and it pulsed with a very, very slow and gentle light. She curled herself into a tiny, fluffy ball, tucking her nose under her tail. Her ears drooped completely, resting against the soft moss. She closed her eyes, and the last thing she saw was the faint, lingering shimmer of the moon lily against the dark, velvet sky. She could feel the gentle dream of the stars all around her, wrapping her up like the coziest blanket you could ever imagine. She felt safe, she felt peaceful, and she felt sleepy, so very, very sleepy. And so, little one, just like Pip, it is time for you to let go. Feel the gentle weight of sleepiness on your eyelids. Feel the calm of the Moonpetal Garden all around you. You are safe, you are cozy. Let the quiet magic of the night carry you away into your own beautiful, peaceful dreams. Sleep now, sleep, sleep.